Hey guys, what's going on? Garanex here, bringing you another video on Genshin Impact. If you don't already know, Venti's banner has ended 2 days ago, and we will be getting a new banner today at 6 PM server time. This new character that we are getting is Klee, another Loli character. So in this video, let's discuss if you should summon or skip this banner. But before we go into that, I just want to remind you that in Genshin Impact, there is a trial feature that allows you to test out the banner characters before you summon them. So that way you can experience the character yourself and decide if you really like the character before you invest your hard-earned Primo Gems or money into this banner. If you have reached AR 32, you will also unlock Klee's story quest, which lets you test her out as well. So the footage that you will see will be from my testing while doing Klee's story quest. First of all, Klee is a 5-star Pyro character. Her normal attacks are throwing bombs at the enemies up to 3 times and deal AoE Pyro damage. Her elemental skill is Jumpy Dumpty, which is something like a balloon. It will bounce 3 times, dealing AoE Pyro damage on every bounce. And on the 3rd bounce, the bomb will split into small mines and remain on the ground. The mines will then explode when enemies come into contact with it, dealing AoE Pyro damage. And her elemental burst summons a spirit or magic circle kind of things that follows her around and deals AoE Pyro damage. Her first passive is Pounding Surprise, unlocked at Ascension 1. When Jumpy Dumpty and normal attack deals damage, Klee has a 50% chance to obtain an explosive spark. This explosive spark is consumed by the next charge attack, which costs no stamina and deals 50% increased damage. Her second passive is Sparkling Burst, which unlocks at Ascension 4. When a charge attack results in a crit, all party members gain 2 elemental energy. And her last passive is All of My Treasures, unlocked automatically. So this displays the location of nearby resources unique to Mondstadt on the minimap. Her constellations are pretty insane as well. At C1, attacks and skills have a certain chance to summon a spark that bombards enemies. Dealing damage equals to 120% of Spark and Splash's damage. At C2, when being hit by Jumpy Dumpty's mines, decreases enemies' defense by 23% for 10 seconds. C3 increases the level of Jumpy Dumpty by 3. At C4, if Klee leaves the field during the duration of Spark and Splash, her departure triggers an explosion that deals 555% of her attack as AoE Pyro damage. At C5 increases the level of Spark and Splashes by 3. And C6, while under the effects of Spark and Splash, other members of the party will continuously regenerate energy. When Spark and Splash is used, all party members will gain 10% Pyro damage bonus for 25 seconds. Of course, getting her C6 is pretty much impossible right now unless you wait out the banner, but these are still some potentials that she has if you manage to get more copies of her. Her role is the main damage dealer. She can't really be a support DPS because other than the mines, she doesn't leave anything for the next character that you switch to. And as far as I know, you can't trigger the mines manually. They will only trigger when it touches the enemy. So you can't use her to trigger elemental reactions whenever you want. You don't have such control. If you are using her as a main DPS, she pairs very well with Venti, because Venti's elemental burst will suck in enemies and items. So the mines that she left behind will also be sucked in together with the monsters, and when they touched, they go kaboom. So they pair very well together. Apart from Venti, you can really use any other character to trigger elemental reactions or for team passive, like having 2 Pyro characters for the 25% attack. Of course, when Klee is actually released and people have tested her, there might be more characters that she pairs very well with. The recommended gears for her are the Crimson Witch of Flames set with attack, pyro damage and attack. Since her entire kit revolves around pyro damage, you want to boost that up as much as possible. So this set will boost up her overall damage. Or you can also go with the Noblesse Oblige with attack, pyro damage, attack as well. This will boost up her elemental burst damage. In the beginning, you might not have access to these sets yet, so you can go with 2-piece Gladiator for 18% attack and also 2-piece Instructor for the 80 elemental in Mastery. There are also 3 4-star characters that have their rate up in this banner. They are Xingqiu, Noelle and Sucrose. So, should you summon for Klee? There are a few questions that you have to ask yourself first. Number 1. Do you already have a Pyro DPS unit? Klee's main role is DPS. If you already have a Pyro DPS unit like Diluc, where will Klee actually fit into your team? If it's for the Pyro Elemental Resonance for 25% more attack, you can easily use free characters like Xiangling or Amber for that. So if you have answered yes to this question, you already have a Pyro DPS unit, then I would suggest you to skip this banner. Number 2. Are you using any of the 4-star rate up character? If you are currently using Noelle, Xingqiu or Sucrose in your team, and you want to get more copies of them so that you can level up the constellation, then you might want to summon on this banner. If you don't have them yet and you want to use their passive, which for Noelle, the passive is when a perfect cooking is achieved on defense boosting dish, Noelle has a 12% chance to obtain double the product. And Xingqiu's passive, when Xingqiu crafts character talent materials, he has a 25% chance to refund a portion of the crafting materials used. And Sucrose passive, when Sucrose crafts character and weapon enhancement materials, she has a 10% chance to double the product. So if you want to use any of these passive, then you might want to summon on this banner. And number 3, do you have Primo gems? If you're a whale, you can easily buy gems and summon all you want. If you're a free-to-play player or low spending player, you might not have so many gems. Then you will want to consider whether Klee or any of the 4-star characters is really who you want. If not, then you might want to skip this banner and save until the character that you want is having a rate up banner. Of course, we don't know the exact dates for all the characters' rate up banners, but there are some leaks that you can check out. Take those with a grain of salt though. You don't want to trust that completely because it's a leak. But that will give you a guide for you to calculate and decide if you want to summon on this banner or any future banners. For myself, I will be skipping this banner for 3 reasons. Number 1, I already have a Pyro DPS unit. I'm using Xiangling as my main DPS right now, so I don't need another Pyro DPS unit. Number 2, I'm saving up for Keqing's banner. And number 3, I tested Klee in the story quest and I don't really like how her attacks feel. It feels a bit awkward to me, so I don't really like that. So for these 3 reasons, I will skip this banner. So I hope this video gives you some insights and help you make a smart decision. Remember, don't go into the banner immediately if you are still unsure. Make sure to take advantage of the trial feature to test out the character first. If you like her, go for it. If you don't like her, skip it. If you wish to discuss more about Klee or the game in general, consider joining my Discord, link will be in the description below. And as always, like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. That's it for today, take care and have a great day ahead.